Welcome to the AI Coach by Anil Nathu. Today we're doing a focused exploration, really diving into decision intelligence, or DI.
Yeah, DI. It's becoming super important.
Absolutely. We've gathered some key material outlining this framework, and, well, our goal here is to really pull out the core stuff.
The essence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The crucial insights, the practical lessons, especially for dealing with, today's business world. It's complex, tons of data.
And the old ways of making decisions, they often just don't cut it anymore.
That's the point.
Yeah.
So this deep dive, it's meant to give you, our listener, a really clear, concise understanding of the decision intelligence framework.
We're drawing straight from the key ideas in the AI Coach Guide. Think of it as a shortcut, basically. A way to get a handle on the most vital parts of this pretty powerful approach without wading through everything.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Fundamentally, what is decision intelligence? What's the core idea?
Well, at its heart, it's about blending a few key areas. You've got data science, right? The analytical side. Then you bring in decision theory, the strategy, the structure,
Okay.
and crucially, you add artificial intelligence, AI.
Right, the engine behind a lot of it.
Exactly. And the big goal, it's to help organizations move past just, reacting to data.
Towards using it strategically.
Precisely. To make decisions that are genuinely informed, more effective, and understanding how specific actions actually lead to the outcomes you want. That connection is key.
And it's interesting, different voices in the industry seem to land on similar ideas here.
They do, like TechTarget. They really stress that mix. Data science, AI, decision theory. That's their path to better decisions.
Yeah.
Gartner puts a bit more focus on the process side, documenting and actually engineering how decisions get made, systematizing it.
Right, making it repeatable, understandable.
Yeah. And then you have others, like Quantexa or Improvato, who highlight the practical side, how DI works across all levels of a business.
And its ability to give context to the data, right? That seems critical.
Absolutely crucial. Data without context isn't nearly as useful. DI helps provide that richer picture.
And you mentioned understanding how actions lead to outcomes. A big part of DI is visualizing that, isn't it? Like mapping the decision.
Yes, exactly. Think of it like creating a clear map, a visual guide to how a decision unfolds, the steps involved, what might happen next.
Makes it transparent.
Totally. It makes the whole process much easier to grasp, not just for the data folks, but for, well, everyone involved in the organization. Accessibility is a huge benefit, making those insights easy to see and understand.
And you said it applies across all levels. That's worth emphasizing. It's not just for the C-suite or just for the front lines.
Not at all. It's relevant for those big, high-level strategic choices where the company is heading long-term. It's vital at the operational level, too, optimizing those everyday processes, making things run smoother, more efficiently.
Daily improvements.
Right. And then there's the tactical level, equipping teams on the ground to react quickly, smartly to whatever comes up, making informed choices in the moment.
And it handles different types of decisions, too. It's not just one size fits all.
Good point. Yeah. It spans the whole spectrum. You've got your structured decisions, the routine ones, often quite automatable.
Like reordering supplies or something.
Exactly. Then you have semi-structured decisions. These need a bit more nuance, maybe a mix of data insights and human judgment.
Okay.
And then the really complex ones, the unstructured decisions, big, messy problems, where you really need those advanced tools like predictive modeling, scenario planning, to figure out the best path forward.
So it adapts.
Yeah.
And the applications, they must be pretty broad then.
Oh, incredibly broad. Think about marketing, optimizing campaigns, understanding customer behavior.
Personalization.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Sales, better forecasting, spotting new leads, operations, supply chain stuff, inventory management.
Finance, I imagine. Risk.
Huge in finance.
Well,
Risk management, fraud detection. HR uses it for talent analytics, understanding retention. Customer service for tailoring interactions. I mean, it really touches almost every part of a business.
And the technology is what makes this possible on a large scale, right?
Absolutely. Technology is the foundation. You're talking data analytics, obviously, finding those patterns.
Machine learning for predictions.
Yep. NLP, natural language processing, to make sense of text data, like customer feedback.
Computer vision for images.
Right. And even simulation tools to kind of play out different scenarios, see what might happen. These techs turn the raw data into actual intelligence you can use.
And DI seems to enhance the whole decision process, like from start to finish.
It really does. It starts with solid data collection and integration, getting everything together properly, then applying smart analysis to find the real insights, helping build models to understand the impact of choices,
Right.
supporting the actual execution of the decision, sometimes automating it, and crucially, measuring the results and feeding that back.
That feedback loop. Continuous improvement.
Exactly. That learning aspect is built in.
Okay, so this sounds powerful. Let's break down the framework itself. What are the essential building blocks, the key components that make up these DI systems?
Right, the core pieces. First up, and maybe most fundamental, is data management and integration.
Getting the data sorted.
You got it. It's all about gathering data from, well, everywhere. Structured databases, yes, but also unstructured stuff, text, social media, whatever.
All the different sources.
And then transforming it, the ETL processes, extract, transform, load, cleaning it up, making it consistent. The goal is a single unified data environment. Breaking down those silos is step one.
Because if the data's messy or siloed, the insights won't be reliable, which leads nicely to the next bit, right? Entity resolution.
Exactly. Entity resolution is pretty sophisticated but essential. It's about figuring out which data points actually refer to the same thing in the real world.
Like connecting different records for the same customer.
Precisely. Same customer, same product, same supplier, whatever the entity is. You link all the scattered pieces. This massively boosts data quality.
And gives you that complete picture. Context.
That's the word, context. You get a single reliable view of each key entity, not just fragments. Much richer understanding.
Okay, so data's managed, entities are resolved. What's next?
Next comes data enrichment and AI processing. This is where AI really starts to shine within, say, the AI coach approach.
Adding more value to the data.
Exactly. AI algorithms dig deeper. They add context, extract subtle insights, find complex patterns humans might just miss.
Especially in unstructured data, text, images.
Yes. Inferring relationships, tagging information, categorizing things automatically. Machine learning is key here, making the data smarter, leading to better predictions down the line.
So AI is kind of amplifying the intelligence in the data. Then we move to analytics and modeling.
Right. Now you apply the analytical tools to that enriched data. This could be standard statistics or more advanced machine learning models.
What are you looking for?
Trends, obviously. Anomalies, things that stick out, which could be good or bad. And, critically, predicting future outcomes.
Forecasting.
Yeah. Things like risk scoring, figuring out probabilities, or similarity analysis, finding things that are alike, building models that show if we do X, Y is likely to happen.
Understanding consequences. But all this analysis, it can get complicated fast. How do you make it usable?
That's where data visualization comes in, super important.
Charts and graphs.
Charts, graphs, dashboards, yes. Transforming those complex findings into formats that are intuitive, easy to explore. Making the data understandable for a wider audience, not just the analysts.
Democratizing the data, in a way.
Exactly. And visual decision modeling itself helps map out the decision process clearly so stakeholders can see how it all fits together.
Makes sense. Okay, so we have insights, they're visualized. How do we make sure they lead to action?
That's decision management. This is about bridging the gap between insight and action, ensuring those insights actually translate into coherent, consistent decisions that align with, business goals.
How does that work? Rules, logic.
Yes, applying rules and logic. It might involve automated systems if this data hits this threshold, trigger this action, or rules engines that enforce specific business policies.
And AI can help here too.
Definitely. Decision augmentation is a big part AI suggesting recommendations for humans to review and approve. It guides the decision-making.
Okay, guiding the decision, then comes actually doing it, right? Decision execution.
Yep. Putting the decision into practice. This means integrating the outputs, the decisions, back into the operational workflows.
Making it part of the day-to-day.
Right. Using the insights to optimize when you do something or what you communicate. And sometimes you can automate the execution entirely based on the decision criteria. Allows for really fast strategic responses.
So the decision actually happens, it gets implemented. Crucially important next is security and compliance. Can't forget that.
Absolutely non-negotiable. You're dealing with potentially very sensitive data. So robust security is paramount.
What does that involve?
Strong access controls, who can see what. Detailed audit trails tracking how data is used. Data protection mechanisms to meet regulations like GDPR or CCPA. It's about safeguarding information and maintaining trust.
Foundational for trust. Okay, nearly there. Component 9.
Collaboration features. DI recognizes that decisions often aren't made in isolation.
Teams need to work together.
Exactly. So good DI systems include tools for sharing insights, for analyzing data collectively, for supporting that cross-functional decision-making. It helps break down those internal barriers.
And keeps everyone on the same page. Captures knowledge, too.
Right. Retains that organizational knowledge. And finally, number 10, maybe the key to making it all work in practice. The user-friendly interface.
Making it easy to use.
Absolutely critical for adoption. If the tools are clunky or require deep technical skills, people just won't use them. Intuitive interfaces make the power of DI accessible.
Self-service analytics comes in here.
Yes. Empowering people across the business, marketing, sales, operations, to interact with the data themselves, ask their own questions, generate relevant insights without needing a data scientist for every little thing.
So those 10 components together, that's the framework. From data gathering and cleaning, through AI enrichment and analysis, to visualization, management, execution, security, collaboration, and finally, usability.
That's a great summary. It's a comprehensive system designed to guide that entire data-driven decision process.
And as we've touched on, AI plays a huge role throughout this. It's not just one component, it's woven through many of them.
It really is. AI is a core enabler in the modern DI framework, like the one detailed by the AI coach. It turbocharges so many of these steps.
How does AI specifically contribute? What are its main jobs in DI?
Well, a big one is just automation. Automating the analysis of vast amounts of data, generating insights much faster than humans could, sifting through everything to find those hidden patterns, those correlations.
Speed and scale.
Exactly. Then there's predictive analytics and forecasting. AI models are great at looking at historical data and predicting what might happen next. Customer churn, sales trends, equipment failure. That enables proactive decisions.
Instead of reactive.
Right. Another key area is natural language processing, NLP.
Understanding language.
Yes. Interpreting human language in text or speech. This makes analytics more accessible. You could potentially ask questions in plain English, and it unlocks insights from unstructured text, like customer reviews or reports. Sentiment analysis is a classic example.
What customers are really saying.
AI also contributes significantly to decision optimization, learning from data over time to suggest the best course of action to achieve a specific goal, like how to allocate resources most effectively or price a product optimally.
Improving efficiency.
Absolutely. And let's not forget, AI enhances that entity resolution piece we talked about earlier and helps build context by connecting all those disparate data points into a coherent picture of entities and their relationships.
So AI is really embedded. How is it typically implemented within these frameworks?
It happens at multiple levels. First, AI enhances the data foundation itself, ingesting data, helping with entity resolution, automatically generating relationship maps between entities. AI models transform raw data into structured, usable insights right at the start.
Cleaning and structuring.
Yeah. Then AI supports a range of decision-making modes. It could be decision support, providing information and insights for a human decision maker.
Helping the human.
Or decision augmentation, where AI actively recommends actions, but a human makes the final call.
Like a co-pilot.
Good analogy. And then there's full decision automation, where AI not only makes the decision based on data and rules, but also triggers the execution, usually for more routine, high-volume decisions.
Right, the spectrum of involvement.
Exactly. And AI also enables more sophisticated contextual analytics,
Right.
integrating data with its surrounding context, time, location-related events to get a much deeper understanding of why things are happening, not just what is happening.
Getting to the root cause. But integrating AI isn't always straightforward, right? There must be challenges.
Oh, absolutely. There are significant considerations. Data quality is paramount. AI models are only as good as the data they're trained on. Garbage in, garbage out is very true here. And maintaining that contextual integrity of the data is vital.
Bias is another big one, isn't it?
A huge concern. Ensuring AI models are fair and objective, and not perpetuating historical biases present in the data requires constant vigilance and specific techniques to mitigate bias.
Fairness and objectivity.
And related to that is transparency and explainability, the black box problem.
Understanding why the AI made a certain recommendation.
Exactly. Explainable AI, or XAI, is crucial for building trust in these systems, especially in regulated industries, and for debugging when things go wrong. People need to understand, at some level, how decisions are being arrived at.
Trust and compliance. Okay, so we've covered the components and the role of AI. Let's talk about the payoff. What are the big benefits of implementing decision intelligence?
The benefits are pretty compelling. A major one is simply enhanced decision accuracy and speed. AI and analytics can process vastly more data, much faster than humans, leading to quicker, more precise decisions.
Makes sense. Speed and accuracy.
Then there's a comprehensive data integration and analysis. Breaking down those silos we talked about gives you that holistic view, leading to deeper, more reliable insights than looking at data piece by piece.
Seeing the whole picture.
Right. DI also helps reduce bias and increase objectivity. By grounding decisions firmly in data and analytical insights, it minimizes the influence of gut feel, personal biases, or office politics.
More objective choices.
Yeah. Risk management gets a significant boost, too. DI can identify potential threats or anomalies much earlier, and scenario modeling helps organizations prepare for different possibilities.
Proactive risk handling.
Definitely. Which ties into enabling proactive decision-making generally. Forecasting trends, modeling future outcomes, it allows organizations to anticipate and shape the future rather than just reacting to it.
Getting ahead of the curve.
You also see increased operational efficiency. Automating routine decisions frees up human employees for more complex tasks, and optimization algorithms improve processes.
Doing more with less, perhaps.
Often, yes, which leads to cost reduction. Better resource allocation, improved marketing targeting, reduced waste, optimized supply chains, it all contributes to the bottom line.
Financial benefits, too.
And finally, that point about data democratization. User-friendly DI tools make analytics accessible to more people, fostering a data-literate culture where more employees can contribute to informed decision-making.
Spreading the capability. So lots of benefits. Where is DI actually being used? What are some real-world application areas?
It's incredibly versatile. In marketing and sales, it's huge. Think customer segmentation, personalized campaigns, analyzing the customer journey, optimizing pricing, forecasting sales, predicting churn.
Really understanding the customer.
Totally.
Yeah.
In finance and risk management, fraud detection, assessing credit risk, optimizing investment portfolios, financial planning, helping with regulatory compliance like KYC or AML.
Critical for financial institutions.
Absolutely. Supply chain and operations use it for demand forecasting, optimizing inventory levels, planning production schedules, managing supply chain risks, even predictive maintenance for equipment.
Keeping things running smoothly.
Right. Customer experience management benefits too, personalizing interactions, predicting service issues before they happen, analyzing customer sentiment, recommending the next best action for agents.
Improving customer satisfaction.
Definitely. Human resources is another area. Improving talent acquisition, predicting employee attrition, optimizing the workforce, analyzing performance, identifying training needs.
Managing people better.
Healthcare is a big one too. Assisting with diagnostics, optimizing treatment plans, allocating hospital resources effectively, detecting medical fraud, analyzing public health trends, enabling preventive care.
Potentially life-saving applications.
Indeed, even the public sector uses it. Improving service delivery, planning for emergencies, assessing the impact of policies, urban planning, enhancing public safety.
Across the board, really. Manufacturing.
Yep. Streamlining production, quality control, supply chain optimization again, scheduling equipment maintenance proactively. It just helps optimize complex systems.
So the applications are vast. If an organization wants to implement DI, how do they go about it? What's the strategic approach?
It's usually a phased process. It typically starts with decision research and assessment. Understanding the current decision-making processes, identifying the key decisions that could benefit most from DI.
Figure out where to focus first.
Exactly. Then, crucially, building that trusted data foundation we discussed earlier, inventorying data sources, integrating them, ensuring quality standards, setting up governance. Entity resolution is key here.
Get the data house in order.
Right. Next is implementing the AI-powered contextual analytics, choosing the right tools, developing or deploying appropriate machine learning models, setting up data visualization, maybe enabling some self-service capabilities.
Building the intelligence layer.
Then you develop the decision management systems.
Sure.
Creating the decision models, setting up rules engines, establishing feedback mechanisms, potential automating certain decisions.
Turning insights into rules and actions.
Then integration is key. Integrating the DI system with existing operational systems, CRM, ERP, etc., usually via APIs, allowing for real-time data flow and creating those closed-loop feedback systems.
Connecting it to the business.
And finally, and this is critical, change management and skill development. You need training programs, strategies to encourage adoption, initiatives to boost data literacy across the organization. Sometimes establishing a center of excellence helps.
People and process are just as important as technology.
Absolutely fundamental. Technology alone won't do it.
Are there different ways to approach implementation, like big bang versus starting small?
Yeah, there are a few common approaches. A phased implementation is very popular. Start small, maybe with a pilot project in one area. Demonstrate value, learn, refine the process, and then scale it out more broadly.
Prove it works first.
Right. Another way is a use case-driven implementation, focused specifically on solving one or two high-impact business problems. This ensures a clear ROI and builds momentum.
Focus on the biggest bang for the buck.
Exactly. You could also go with a platform-based implementation, deploying a comprehensive DI platform that can support multiple use cases from the start. This often involves more upfront investment, but provides reusable components and centralized infrastructure.
Building a central capability.
Or, quite commonly, a hybrid approach. Combining elements of these, maybe starting with a specific use case on a central platform, then phasing it out to other areas, balancing central control with decentralized needs.
Flexible approach. What makes these implementations successful? What are the key success factors?
Executive sponsorship is huge. You need strong backing from leadership to secure resources, ensure alignment with strategy, and champion the change. Governance is part of that, too.
Top-level support.
Definitely. Cross-functional collaboration is also vital. Getting IT, data science, business units, operations all working together, breaking down silos, sharing objectives.
Teamwork across departments.
Yes. An iterative approach, learning and improving continuously. Implement, get feedback, measure results, refine the models, tweak the process. It's not a one-and-done thing.
Constant learning.
And a relentless focus on user adoption, providing user-friendly tools, good training, demonstrating tangible value to the people who will actually use the system day to day. If they don't adopt it, it fails.
Make it easy and valuable for the users. Are there common roadblocks or challenges people hit?
Oh yeah, plenty. Data quality and integration issues are probably the most common starting point. Getting that foundation right is hard.
We keep coming back to data.
Because it's fundamental. Organizational resistance to change is another big one. People are used to doing things a certain way.
Overcoming inertia.
Right. Technical complexity can be a hurdle integrating different systems, managing sophisticated AI models. Finding the right skills can also be challenging. Data scientists, DI experts aren't always easy to find or train.
The skills gap.
And sometimes just justifying the ROI up front can be difficult, especially for those broader platform implementations. Demonstrating clear value early is key to overcoming that.
So planning and managing those challenges is part of the process.
Absolutely. You need strategies to mitigate each of them.
Okay, this has been a really comprehensive overview. To sort of wrap things up, decision intelligence, it seems, is really this transformative approach, bringing together data science, AI, decision theory, all aimed at making organizations smarter.
That's a good way to put it. It provides a unified framework for analyzing data, predicting outcomes, and ultimately making better choices. And AI is really central to enabling all of that at scale.
And the benefits seem clear. Better accuracy, speed, efficiency, smarter risk management.
And making data insights more accessible across the board, that democratization point.
Plus, its applicability is so broad, right? Across industries, across business functions, tackling specific problems and finding new opportunities.
Yeah, it's incredibly versatile.
And while implementation needs a strategic approach, thinking about phases, use cases, platforms, the keys seem to be that executive support, collaboration, continuous learning, and focusing on the user.
Those are definitely critical success factors.
So at the end of the day, DI empowers organizations to make, well, better, faster, more consistent decisions, which in today's world sounds like a pretty significant competitive advantage.
It really can be. Moving beyond just intuition or incomplete data towards decisions that are truly informed and impactful, it's about building a more intelligent organization.
A final thought for our listeners then. Maybe consider how this kind of structured, data-driven approach to decision-making, really leveraging the power of AI, could potentially revolutionize your own field or your organization, moving beyond gut feel to a future of, hopefully, much more informed and impactful choices.
Well said. It's definitely something worth thinking about.
Thank you for joining us today. Visit the AI Coach website for more AI insights by Anil Nathu.